Welcome to the Vegas Benchwarmer podcast. My name is Eric. He hate me 702, and this is
Jeremy with a G.
What's up, buddy? You ready to talk some football?
Let's do it.
All right. What'd you think of the new intro?
I liked it.
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Who did
I didn't do it.
Alyssa.
I didn't do it. Alyssa did. You know damn well I didn't do that shit. Alyssa did. So you know. Shout out to Sasha Fierce. She's got some stuff coming up on TikTok. Or it's not even Sasha Fierce anymore. It's She Gamer Beauty. Let me shut the hell up. She's got some stuff coming up on TikTok. Go ahead and check that out. But today we're gonna talk some shit. I don't know where all the people are at that are supposed to be here, but they didn't show up yet. So we're just gonna go ahead and introduce somebody that I've known for a couple years and is literally the commissioner of my dynasty, my keeper league. So we're gonna go ahead and let him come in. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy. How you doing today?
How's it going, fellas? It's a pleasure. I appreciate you guys bringing me on. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jeremy and Eric. I look forward to some good commentary and having some fun here. It's gonna be a good shit talking session for sure.
Well, that sounds like a blast. Let's get this. I'm not trying to do that one. All right, so we're gonna start off with something simple today because hopefully everybody else jumps on. But we're gonna start off with the overreaction. We're gonna have overreaction Tuesday because there's a lot of overreaction. I'm gonna put Dak up just so everybody knows what we're talking about right now because everybody knows the Cowboy fans think there's a such thing as a moral victory, which there's not. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and start that off. We're going to let Brian go first. Brian, since you're an Eagles fan, I know you got a ton of shit to say about the Cowboys.
Well, I'd like to say it's an overreaction, but they lost. So you can't really say that, like you said, there is no moral victory. You can't say that, well, you played well, but you still lost. So, it is what it is. I would say the biggest overreaction I saw over the weekend was the Eagles. As an Eagles fan, it hurts me to say that, but I give Jalen Hurts all the credit in the world. He played a good game, but he played a good game against the Falcons, and we know the Falcons are just not a good team. They're trending towards a rebuild. I want to see what the Eagles do next week against the Niners. Show me that you can do what you did against the Niners, and then I'll take it a little more seriously. Other than that, the roster's been mismanaged and is still in that status as far as I'm concerned until you show me otherwise. I would put the Raiders in that same category too. They pulled out a win. It was a big win. They needed that win, and it was absolutely great to see the stadium rocking. But let's just be real here. John Gruden is not a good coach. He mismanaged the field goal attempt on second down. He didn't have his kicker even ready. He was still sitting in the net. They botched the first down and goal opportunity they had to clinch it the first time, and then they turned it over in the end zone in a game-winning situation with no attempts to Darren Waller. I'm sorry, but they're not winning the division. The Chiefs are still the cream of the crop. I don't know that they'll even finish second in the division. So I put my two biggest overreactions of the week as the Eagles and the Raiders.
I love the doubters.
So go ahead, jump in there, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Everybody, it's the norm for the last several years. Everybody's shitting on the Raiders, but it's all right. We'll see what happens.
So what is your overreaction? Jeremy, what is yours? What's your overreaction this week? What do you want to talk about? What are some overreactions you've seen?
I mean, I didn't watch a whole lot of games, but I mean, I guess if I had to choose one, I think it would be the Browns actually in the game with the Chiefs. There's no reason anybody should be actually in the game like that with the Chiefs, with the roster you guys have. It's just like I think the Browns, and me and you've talked about it. I think the Browns are overhyped for the last couple years. Like, are they a bad team? No, I don't think they're a bad team, but I don't think they're as good as they showed they were against the Chiefs.
So are you saying like yesterday was like they were up for that game? Like that was almost like their Super Bowl?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I think.
Okay.
I mean, everybody who plays the Chiefs all season, last year, this year, it's all of their Super Bowls. The Chiefs are the team to beat. Let's not lie.
I would say, and this, and I got into this dispute this weekend. The Chiefs are so good that they try to turn it on and turn it off at will, and they were off for the first half against the Browns, and the Browns showed that they turned it on. And I think that's the reason why the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl last year is because they try to turn it on and turn it off. They play with their opponents because they're so good, and they couldn't turn it on when they needed to in the Super Bowl last year. And I think that's the one negative flaw that the Chiefs have is that they don't have the foot on the gas constantly. They do try to turn it on, turn it off, and I think they did that against the Browns, and it showed.
So I completely agree that we do have that issue, but I think all great teams have an issue like that no matter what sport you are.
It's a good problem to have. I will say that much.
I do disagree with the Bucs. They just whooped our ass. Our offensive line could not handle their pass rush. And there's no problem losing to the GOAT. Tom Brady had the perfect design, even though people were like, it's not him. No, it was. Tom Brady definitely told all that defense and all of them what he saw sitting on the sidelines playing against the Chiefs for so long. But my biggest overreaction, I'd like to agree. Raiders fans, shut the fuck up. Besides Jeremy, shut the fuck up. All y'all did was talk fucking shit. Like, don't get me wrong. The win was fabulous. I love that it was rocking at the place. It was lovely. The fans were going wild. But the fans are going wild at every game because fans were at most games. So they were going wild everywhere. Y'all beat the Ravens. Okay. Like I know people are like, oh, the Ravens are so good because they've only lost Lamar Jackson's only lost 8 times in the regular season or whatever the fuck it is. Dude, they celebrate winning preseason games. They're not a championship team. Like when they put out tweets that we've won 22 straight preseason games, you know where their mind is. Like you guys beating them, it wasn't a shock to me because I tweeted out earlier. Depends on which Raiders team show up. In the first half, the normal Raiders team show up. In the second half,
it was the first quarter, by the way.
Well, first quarter. Second half, y'all played really, really good. I completely agree with Brian that Gruden is your handicap. He is not a good coach. I don't think Gruden is a good coach. We've talked about this multiple times. Who the fuck hard counts on the 1? Can we just talk about that? They literally went there and did a hard snap to draw the defense off sides. On the 1.
Let's not hide it. They're one of their biggest problems last year was their inability to convert on short yardage situations. And it resurfaced again, and they got bailed out. So just because they got bailed out doesn't mean that problem is fixed because they still blew short yard situations.
I can't say they got bailed out there because their defense is better. They were a horrible defense, but that last sack and Nassib coming in, stripping that ball, that's especially from Lamar, who's not a fumbler. Like the first one, yeah, the
Wait,
first fumble.
did you just say it was a horrible defense?
No, I didn't say it was a horrible defense. Who said it was a horrible defense?
I swear to God, I just heard you say it.
No, I said their defense isn't horrible. It's not horrible. I'm giving your defense credit. Like I'm saying they didn't get bailed out by Lamar Jackson fumbling. You guys wouldn't have made a play.
It's vastly improved, but didn't they just lose in Ngakwe? I could have sworn I saw something today that they lost him.
I thought he got injured, but he's back though. Yeah. So I mean,
he re-aggravated an injury.
That's the overreaction. Rams fans, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Y'all still gonna suck. Okay. I'm not a big Rams fan. I'm not a big Matthew Stafford supporter. You beat Andy Dalton. Shut up. I'm tired of hearing people. Oh, they are what? I looked it up like a week before the season started. They're the highest. They have the highest odds in the NFC West to win the Super Bowl, and I think they're fourth in the AFC, or third in the AFC, or third in the NFC, and fourth or fifth in the whole entire NFL for Super Bowl odds at the beginning of the season. They beat the Bears. Andy Dalton fucking sucks. Matt Nagy, you need to be fired. You honestly need to be fired. And I think Matt Nagy is trying to be fired because there's no way in hell that you start Andy Dalton in 2021. I don't give a fuck if you're playing Alabama's defense on steroids. You don't start Andy Dalton ever. You put Justin Fields out there and let him do what he's got to do. So, Rams fans, shut the fuck up. Media, get off Matt Stafford's dick. Bears fans, I feel bad for you guys. You're going to have a horrible season. I'm very, very sorry for you guys. I can't get mad at Eagles fans because I thought the Falcons would be good. I get what you're saying when they play the Niners, but let's be honest. The Niners gave up 33 points to Jared Goff. Like, they almost gave that game. Yeah. So, I mean, I see what you're saying there. But I see that. But really, honestly, I think it's man. Okay, so y'all know if y'all watch us, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. Y'all know if y'all watch us, the dude is so funny, and we've seen this before. But he's a Falcons fan, Brian, and he actually said on our last podcast,
I need him to come on tonight. Where's he at?
That the Falcons, there's no way the Falcons would lose to the Eagles. So,
and there was no way, they were getting blown out by the Eagles.
Hey, look, what can I say? They looked horrible. They looked horrible. I hate those guys. There's no answer. That offense should have been way better than it was. I guess Jalen Hurts is the truth. Devontae Smith won the Heisman. I don't know where else to go with it. Their offensive line is garbage. Everybody knew the defense is bad. What can I say, man? They're a horrible team. Hey, but they're gonna beat the Buccaneers, though. That's all I know. So.
That's what you said about the Eagles too. I don't know if I can trust you though.
Look, it's week one. It's week one. Let's not jump to any conclusions. It's week one. So there's still a full football season left. 16
What
weeks.
is your overreaction for week one? We just started. What's the overreaction?
Hey, Kyle Pitts is a bust. No, I'm just kidding. That's not going to be my overreaction.
That's way too early.
We have got Justin Fields, probably. Nah.
Probably.
Yeah. What is Calvin Ridley? Because I know the answer to Calvin Ridley is good without Julio. But yeah, that's what everybody's asking. Is Calvin Ridley the answer? No, he didn't look like it. Matt Ryan looked bad. The offensive line was bad. We blew 2 draft picks on offensive linemen who just aren't great. I mean, they're rookies. So yeah, it's bad in Atlanta, man.
So outside of Atlanta, what is your overreaction to the Sunday? Or did you just not watch any more games after that?
No, I didn't. I hardly watch a Falcons game. Are you kidding me, dude? I had to turn that off. I was like, dude, 2 field goals. I'm turning this off. The Cardinals are the best team in the NFC. That's an overreaction because they looked good. They looked solid. And nobody in the NFC really put on a show like that. I guess the Rams, Stafford looked great. Everybody said he was going to be good, except for you guys. You guys were hating, bro. You guys were hating.
Fuck him. They beat the Bears. They beat Andy Dalton. Stop it.
You're right. Oh, man. A bunch of overreaction. I actually got into an argument with somebody on Twitter. He said that the Bucks and the Cowboys were going to meet in the Super Bowl, bro. So
Well,
that's
they can't.
yeah,
I
exactly,
think
bro.
Dak said that, didn't he? I think Dak said that too, as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
He said we'll see you again or something to that.
maybe NFC Championship.
He probably would see him
NFC
again.
Yeah, this guy said Super Bowl though, and I was like, "Hey, bro, that can't happen. That's an overreaction because like that's something that can't happen." So
No.
unbelievable.
The
But
moral
is the NFC North the new NFC East?
You got to beat the NFC East at that first.
Man.
I mean, when you think about it, wait, hold on. Let's rewind that real quick. Vikings lost to the Bengals.
They did.
The Bears lost to the Rams. The Packers.
Which is the
got
bigger
beat-
loss, though?
Man, who am I missing? Oh, the Lions. The Lions almost came back against the Niners. Yeah, that's a. Well, I mean, in that scenario, is the AFC West the new fucking NFC West? Or the
They're
best
both,
division?
aren't they both undefeated?
Yeah, they're both of us are undefeated. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
the NFC
though.
West and the AFC West are both undefeated.
Yeah,
All
NFC
by
and
four,
AFC
or-
West.
I don't know.
I mean, we're saying undefeated, but again, it's week one, man.
Right.
That's
But it's-
I hate
But it's
overreacting.
a question going around. It's the NFC
But you
North and the
gotta, I
NFC
mean,
East.
you gotta overreact when football comes back. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how all of you guys felt, but so all three of us live in Vegas. You know me and Jeremy live in Vegas. Brian lives in Vegas. He's actually at a bar right now, podcasting. So
I'm
he lives in
I'm
Vegas.
shooting live from Sean Patrick's on North 5th right now.
And I know exactly where the fuck that's at. So I know exactly where that's at. So he's there. He's at a bar. And I like after we got the podcast, I was like, dude, I wish you lived here. You don't understand how much fun he would have in Vegas watching all the games and talking shit. But like it was so nice to be. I don't know where you watched that, Brian. I went to a bar. I went to Copper Keg over on Durango. It was so nice to be around people talking sports, watching sports. Like even games I didn't think I gave a fuck about. I gave a fuck about. I literally watched the whole Vikings and Bengals game. Like, why? But it was exactly. I'm like, fucking Joe Burrow, let's go. Like,
Yeah, but before COVID, we used to.
I didn't take my eye off of Red Zone all day.
it was amazing.
All
It was so lovely. So in all the games, I was
not having that for an entire year, an entire NFL season sucked.
and even having it last year was still different. Like I said, I was at a bar last year. Most of the time, I was at my house. So like I was literally at a bar, and it was like, this is so much fun. I was yelling, I was screaming, people were yelling, they were screaming. So it was just fun. Like that's what we do. So you gotta overreact when you lose your voice on a Sunday. That's all I'm saying. I lost my voice.
Man, it was well, I didn't lose my voice. I was very quiet, man.
I guess I would have been after that loss too.
Yeah, my fantasy team did good in our league. So
I'm 2-2. I'm 2-2.
I'll take that.
I'm 2-2. I won 2, lost 2.
Yeah, I'm
Damn,
2-2.
I won like 4, and I lost my big money one. I'm in a big money one, and I lost that game by 7 points.
It's crazy. I'm only in 2 leagues, but I'm 1-1, and I damn near have the same team in both leagues. And one league, I was the highest scoring team in the league, and the other team, I lost a pretty good heartbreaker. So
I'm gonna tell y'all how to change it.
system.
If you think you good, listen to me very carefully. Join a dynasty league. If you think you good, join a fucking keeper league. And understand real quick, it's a totally different fantasy. Totally different. For all the people that out there that aren't in keeper league, join one. It is so much fun. Okay, we got a guest. Wally West.
Yeah, Wally West. There we go.
Wally, is you trying to get up in here? I'll send you the link. Let me know.
Do it.
If you're trying to get in, you can get in. Wally's in our Wally's in the Madden League.
Oh
no,
yeah.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Hey,
so Wally,
bro,
I think is he the one in your league?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
No, he's Cali Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders, bro.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
Kelly
so
Raiders.
since I was so low on the Raiders and I talked so much shit about the Raiders last week, we're here. We're all here.
Well, don't get too high now. It's still the Raiders.
Listen, but should I have to put on my Raiders jersey, bro?
Wait, who is it? Is the question.
Oh, I don't know if you'll like who it is. So
Is it Antonio Brown?
Antonio
We say it's
Brown.
Antonio
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah, it's Antonio Brown.
You better take him out of the motherfucking pot. Fuck it.
Hey, AC, we got.
I'm getting it.
So for all y'all that don't know, the story about the Antonio Brown jersey is I bought Jeremy a jersey. I didn't realize it was Antonio Brown. I saw Brown and immediately thought of Tim Brown. So I got him a jersey, and it was Antonio Brown because Antonio Brown, I didn't even play for the team. It's sitting in his garage somewhere. So we tried to sell it for $20.
It's sitting in the garage on the floor under boxes.
Oh, he got the Tim Brown though.
I'll throw my Raiders jersey on right now, man. That's crazy.
That
I can't
was
believe
okay.
they won, bro. I can't believe they won.
It wasn't a shock. It wasn't a shock. I'm not high on the Ravens. I've been on a couple podcasts and I've told a lot of people that I'm a lot higher on Raiders than a lot of people are. And coming from a Chiefs fan, living in Vegas, I've seen a lot of it. Like, they're not a horrible team. They just had a horrible defense and a shitty ass coach. Now, their defense doesn't have to be great. It just has to be average because they can score points in a flash, like you guys saw on Monday night. Like, they can literally drive down the field. Derek Carr has like 22 career comebacks. Go ahead.
Let's just look at it like this. I mean, Jack Del Rio was fired.
Yes.
And he had a winning record and made the playoffs.
Yes.
John Gruden does not have a winning record, and he has not made the playoffs, and he's a $100 million coach. I think he's highly overrated. He took over a Tony Dungy team to win a Super Bowl with the Bucs, and other than that, he's trash. He's highly overrated, and he's well overpaid, and the Raiders are going to have a tough decision to make in the near future.
I agree. I think the Raiders.
I disagree on the tough decision. I don't think it's a tough decision to let him go.
Well, because
I think
Mayock
Mayock hit the nail right on the fucking head when he said he's on the fucking hot seat this season.
Yeah.
Gruden should be on the hot seat as well. With the roster we have this season, if they don't make the playoffs, they should both be gone.
There you go. And that's why I love him as a Raiders fan, because he's real. He doesn't sugarcoat it.
Look, I love Chucky. And the only reason Mark Davis brought him back is because his father traded him to Tampa Bay.
So, yeah, you're 100% right. I agree with that. Okay, so now this is going to be the shit talk segment. So everybody, I know all of you guys have like a team that you hate, something that happened, whether it's fantasy related, whether it's gambling related, whether it's whatever the fuck is related. What is the one thing that you just want to let loose about that happened this Sunday on NFL? What's the one thing that pissed you off, grinded your gears? Like, I mean, fantasy. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's fucking Derrick Henry's bitch ass. Fuck that motherfucker, okay?
Every top running back didn't do shit this week.
I don't give a fuck about the other ones. I don't have them on my team. Fuck, I mean, Saquon Barkley, I'm done with. I've already said that. Hey, if you're watching and you're in our Dynasty League, hit me up. He's available. I'm just letting y'all know. Fuck that motherfucker. I'm tired of him. One good year, that's it. I've had him for 4 years. But no, Derrick Henry had me fake believing with all those fucking workout videos. He's like Ben Simmons. He works out like crazy, and he comes out and plays a dud. He had 9 yards in the first half. 9.
That's a lot of yards, bro.
We all know in the first team.
He's a big man. He's a big man. He literally could have just laid down twice and got more yards.
That's what I'm saying. So if your number one pick, your first round pick, lay a dud in week 1, you pretty fucked. And you hoping that it don't go good. You like, oh, what should I do? I picked him up in 2 leagues. And I didn't have like the top 3 pick. I had like the 7th or 8th pick. I should have known not to pick his ass up. Somebody told me not to pick his ass up, but I did. So fuck that. I don't like his ass anyway. To me, he's just annoying. Like, you don't need to be doing grown ass men like that. You don't need to be grabbing him and shoving him to the ground with one fucking arm. We grown ass men.
He's the only one who can.
Same topic with running backs. Aaron Jones. The Packers are just a clusterfuck right now, and I think all of it has to do with Aaron Rodgers. I think his greaser look to start with pissed me off. It made me want to punch him in the face. But the fact that they knew that this guy was coming out and wasn't ready to play, and they didn't give Aaron Jones more touches. Fantasy-wise, it crushed me. Beyond that, it irritated me that the guy couldn't get a look in an offense where they're just getting decimated. So I thought that was blasphemous, especially after you just signed a long-term contract.
That is true. But, I mean, realistically, running backs go downhill after they sign a long-term contract. Look at Zeke. Like,
whoa, what happened with Zeke?
Just like
Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, bro. Nobody put up points.
Najee Harris is understandable. He's a rookie.
I guess so, but he was touted to be like this.
And look, I want to throw it out there now. I'm going to be the first one to project this. I do not think that Ezekiel Elliott will be back with the team next year.
Shit.
He's on a $1 million base salary this year, and it goes from $1 million to $12 million next year. He had the lowest yards per carry on the entire team, and that included Dak Prescott on a broken ankle.
He looked good to me.
I don't see them paying Zeke $12 million next year to get 3 yards per carry.
What's his guarantee? What's his guarantee for next year? That's what matters. That's what's going to matter. How much money does he have coming guaranteed to him?
I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he's going to look that up. 2023. So that's
here we go. Really look up the contract. Go to Sport Contract and see what his guarantee is. Because I agree with you. I can completely agree with you, but that's the same reason why the Packers didn't want to trade Aaron Rodgers, because of how much money it would cost them based off their salary cap. The NFL salary cap and their fucking negotiations is fucking retarded. It is utterly makes no sense. Like, Patrick Mahomes is literally getting paid all of his money in the first fucking 4 years. Like, all of his guaranteed 4 years over a contract. Depending, like Le'Veon Bell. Remember when Le'Veon Bell set out? That's because his guaranteed money was gone. So if they have, and even though his contract is based low, if you look at his salary cap hit, a lot of teams aren't going to take that shit. So you may have a 12 million cap hit that may be 12 million, but they may write that off at 24 million.
His cap hit for this year is 6.8, but it goes from 6.8 to 18.2 million next year.
Yeah. See, so I like that's
6.8 this year. His cap hit next year's 18.2.
18.2 million for next year, and
his dead cap hit after this season is 30.
That's the problem, because they're writing off all that extra money, I think, and that's why I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure that part out. And who's going to trade for him? You're not going to get
nobody
a
has the money. Jaguars.
They'll release him. Look at Todd Gurley.
True.
Well, they're probably going to keep him on the roster until 2023.
Gurley doesn't have knees, though. That's the difference.
Yeah. Zach
doesn't have heart. Zach doesn't have heart. It's the same shit. Like, if you can't fix heart, you can fix knees. You can't fix not having heart. And people can look at me sideways if they want. I wish Cowboy fans were on here, because Zeke got paid. And when he got paid, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking shit, because I'm 124 pounds soaking sopping wet. So I'm not taking the pain he's taking. But at the same time, if I was an NFL player, I don't know. Like, if I got paid as much money as he did too, I might not play either.
Like, he signed a 6-year, $90 million. Guaranteed at signing was 28. Total guaranteed 50.
Dude, let's just be 100% honest. All of us would take a salary right now for $28 million. in the
Whoa.
NFL. So I mean,
I gotta
I'll
get
take the
hit
league
at this
minimum.
size.
I take a 2 million.
so I mean,
I'll take the vet minimum. Shit.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Hey, what does a practice squad get paid?
they don't. I don't know. What's 400? Jeremy, you looking that up, right? 400, 500,000.
What about IR? Because I'll take that. My back is pretty bad, bro. My knees pop when I like squat and shit. I'm only 26, so it shouldn't be happening, right?
So practice squad players make $9,200 a week.
Where do I sign up though?
It's $165,600.
Yeah, but you only played for 17 weeks.
Yeah,
But you're not playing for 17 weeks.
Exactly.
Yes.
You work it out. Let's fucking go. We are
Hey,
all
you
set
make
for that.
$9,200 a week to be on the practice squad.
We
That's
are
lit.
all
Hey, sign
set.
me up.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I'll take that deal over the league minimum for sure because there's like a chance I have to play.
Oh, if you have over 2 years of experience, you'll make $14,000 per week.
What? I played all of high school, bro.
all right.
Like,
Biggest losers of week 1. What do you
Green
say?
Bay.
Brian, start it off. What do we got? Biggest losers. Who would you say?
I've already touched on both of these guys, and I'll elaborate a little more. Aaron Rodgers. There has to be somebody in that locker room that can walk up to this man and say, "Look, I know you don't want to be here, but you're putting my money at risk right now." And if somebody in that locker room, if there's not a veteran presence that can walk up to Aaron Rodgers and check him, because it's unacceptable. The performance, the drive that I saw in that first game, it looked like he didn't want to be there. It looked like he had thrown in the towel. It looked like he's trying to drive down his trade market.
Who's checking Aaron fucking Rodgers in the Green Bay locker room?
Look.
Aaron Rodgers.
If Aaron Rodgers is beyond reproach, then there is your problem. If he can't respect what his teammates say, then there's a problem. Somebody should be able to walk up to him and say, "Hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not following your reads. You're not making the plays. You're not even trying." If somebody can't do that, I know I damn sure would be. If I was a guy that was signed on that contract for 4 or 5 years and this guy is not trying and he's putting my name out there, I would be checking him. And I don't care what the results are because he's not trying to be there anyway. So why does it even matter? You should be able to walk up to him and say something. And if he doesn't have the self-pride to step up going further. And look, I've been a very big Aaron Rodgers advocate for a very long time. When people have bashed him saying that he should have won more, I've stood up for him and who he's faced throughout the years. So I don't feel like this is something that is unaccomplishable with saying that a teammate should be able to say something to him. He's been there for a very long time. Outside of that, I already said the others. Zeke Elliott. He stands to lose a lot of money here. He's not looking good. He doesn't look like he has the heart. He looks like he's more worried about wearing midriffs at EDC than he is about playing football. So neither one of these guys right now I'm very high on, and it doesn't take much for me to be down on a Cowboys player anyway. But Zeke looked like trash. He looked like trash, and he doesn't look like he's ready to play. So,
AC, go ahead, buddy.
Well, I will say the Cowboys did pass like a bunch, almost 60 attempts in that game. So there wasn't a lot of room. They did have him in for blocking, which is very useful. He's a great pass blocker. So they used him for that. I think he'll have a breakout. I'm trying to trade for him in a couple of leagues because I think he's going to have a couple games. That just wasn't in the cards, that one, with the Buccaneers defensive line. But biggest losers, I'm not going to say nothing about the Falcons, bro. That was just shameful, bro. Like that was really, really bad, bro. Like I've never even I've watched a lot of Falcons games and I've seen a lot of losses. I've seen a lot of comebacks on the wrong side of a comeback, and it's just bad. That was horrible. I can't believe they had 6 points. Like Where's the offense at that everybody's been talking about? Not everybody, but the Falcons circle. They were a huge loser. Brandon Ayuk was a huge loser, bro. I can't believe you guys told me not to draft him, and I did. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have a good season at all. I think that the Ravens needed to win that game. It's a bad loss for them. They're supposed to go to the Super Bowl.
Week 2 against the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's
Sunday night in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's not good. On a short week too, because they played Monday night and they went to overtime. That that doesn't even really bother me that much anymore. The 3-28 because
I was just talking about. You said you're on the other side of the comeback. I was.
Just bro.
People know.
That like people think that's the first time they did that shit, bro.
Of course
they were doing that the whole season, a season before that, bro. It was every game was a 3-point loss, and we were up by 20 points at some point. So yeah, as a Falcons fan, man, I was ready for it. But that's a huge that's the worst loss I think this week. And I'm not even saying that as a Falcons fan. That just looked horrible. And you've got all these offensive weapons, quote unquote, and the Kyle Pitts fucking saga begins. So yeah, that was pretty bad, man.
Jeremy, what about you? What are your losers?
I'll make mine simple. It's the Bears. It's the Bears starting Andy Dalton over Justin Fields.
Yeah.
It's the biggest loser. If they start Andy Dalton again next week, they're going to continue down on this losing path.
But what if Matt Nagy's trying to get fired? Would you still say he's a loser because he's succeeding?
It's still stupid.
He's succeeding, though. If his job is to get fired, he's actually succeeding.
Why are you trying to? Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just resign?
Because they probably
you've given up to the point where you want to get fired.
Just
just fucking resign already.
He doesn't get paid as much. They want that money.
If he quits, he never gets another job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He shouldn't get another head coaching job.
No, he never gets another job again if he quits in the middle of a season after he just came out of training camp. He's never getting another job again.
The only job he gets is
Bishop
Bishop
fired.
Sycamore.
Yeah, get fired.
The only job he gets is Bishop Sycamore. That's it.
Bishop Sycamore.
I'm not saying he deserves another job. I'm just saying you're eliminating all options if you quit after week 1.
No, I agree with you. I agree with him. I think he can't quit. I agree. Also, there's something in his contract where if he resigns or quit, he doesn't get paid. There's got to be something in it. They did that shit after.
He deserves not to get paid.
What was the guy that quit on your team? AC, the college coach. What was his fucking name? And then went back to Louisville.
Sarkeesian?
No, the other guy.
Man.
Petrino. What
year was this, bro?
He's asking which one.
Which?
Yeah, all of them, bro. Every offensive,
the college
offensive coordinator.
A motorcycle accident at Razorback with his girlfriend on his back.
That's so specific. How do you not know his name? How do you give such a specific example of something that happened to him in his life? But
Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino.
Yo.
I can think of his name. I can see his face.
Hey, everybody, meet Eric.
I couldn't think of his name. I could think of his name.
It's fucking just Bobby, and then that's all you had to think about.
Okay, so I'm gonna be real talk. I'm gonna tell you who I think the biggest losers today is. Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have we forgotten that they got beat by the Texans? They got beat by the fucking Texans.
Urban should go back to broadcasting or college.
He's not going to be there long. They got you. I think AC said he wasn't a one and done, but they got beat by the Texans. The Texans have no weapons. Can anybody name a player on the Texans besides Tyrod Taylor?
I can name a couple, but that doesn't change. I think it's a little overblown how bad the Texans franchise is compared to even the Jaguars. That just was a sign that shows how bad the Jaguars franchise is, because even the Texans have Brandon Cook and David Johnson and a couple of guys that can put up some numbers. And Brandon Cooks, despite getting knocked out, he gets knocked out once or twice a year. He still comes back and plays and still puts up numbers. So,
Brandon Cooks has been on 4 teams in 6 years.
And he's probably been knocked out 4 times, but he's put up 1,000 every year.
He's been So I mean, that's because they're always fucking down. Like, and they're always like they were down so bad. Like, no, I'm not saying that the Texans are not as bad as what we thought they are. They're really bad. We're gonna learn to find out that sometimes college coaches just don't work.
Well, and then there was was it today or something that he's rubbing players and coaches the wrong way?
Yeah, he's that coach.
He was getting so pissed off and angry and flipping out over preseason games.
You saw it from the beginning with the Tim Tebow hire. You saw it when he basically said because he wasn't vaccinated or somebody wasn't vaccinated. Like, you don't fucking leak that shit in a pro franchise. Yeah, in Ohio State you can. But in Florida, you can, but you can't say that as a Jacksonville Jaguar coach.
It's time to end this experiment, and I can say that sincerely with all my heart as an Eagles fan. Chip Kelly should have never been hired. He was a complete bust. It seems like every single time this happens, these college coaches feel like they know everything, and when you feel like you know everything, you probably don't know shit. So
it's just a difference. It's a huge difference going from being the shit and talking to kids. And even though they're not kids, college kids are still grown-ass men outside of college. But they're still totally different than talking to a man who makes fucking $30 million a year. Like, what are you like? That's a huge. The offenses are totally different. They don't run the same. Yes, there are some that are very good that work their way up, but to go from Florida, Utah, Florida, Ohio State, where you've always had some very good players, recruiting is king, and then you go to Jacksonville and you draft Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is not going to be bad. I'm not saying he's going to be good. I just don't believe in him. I think he is as good as he's ever going to be. And that's just my thought theory.
I think if Trevor Lawrence had gotten drafted by the Niners,
totally different story.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of franchises that if Trevor Lawrence had gotten drafted by, he would be much more successful. I think he's destined to doom, and I hate to say that because I feel like he's very talented. And
in Jacksonville, he's destined. He's screwed. But they could have traded back and done like this isn't college. You don't just need a fucking quarterback. You need a game plan. You need to be able to play. Like, you need people to respect you as a coach. You can't just say, I'm going to take your scholarship. The fuck you say? And I agree. I think that they literally, a lot of these times, they come in, they bring a college coach in, and instead of doing it like, Urban Meyer, he's a high and mighty name, so you're going to bring him in. Maybe he wouldn't take an offensive coordinator. But, I mean, just talking shit, you had Eric Bieniemy sitting there. I mean, just saying, I'm not saying he would have taken that job, but
let's just be real. It's pretty easy to motivate kids that aren't making money. It's very hard to motivate men that are making $30 million a year. You've got to be a strong motivator.
Yep.
You have to be able to do things and say things that are going to motivate people that are already successful versus somebody that is struggling to become successful. It's easy to motivate somebody that's hungry. It's not easy to motivate somebody that's already got money.
True. Hey, see, jump in this. I know you got something to say. I can see you. I can see you moving up and forward. Let's go.
Dude, I just can't. I don't understand how they lost to the Texans. Everybody was touting the Texans to be like winless this season. And then they come out and I think they have a really good showing against the Jaguars. And yeah, like you said, one of two things. The Jaguars are just bad. Urban Meyer needs to go. Or the Houston Texans aren't who we thought they were. And I thought they looked decent for a team of veterans who have played this game of football and understand how it works to go out and get a couple wins. I think they're going to fuck themselves out of being able to pick early in the draft. Do they even have their draft pick this year?
I don't know. I'm almost positive. I keep going back and forth because I played them in the Madden League, and I don't think they had it. Yeah, they don't have it. Oh, they do. They do. They have their first and second. Yeah, they do. They do.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna. I think they could win more games than just that. Trevor Lawrence, yeah, like you said, if he was on New England, that'd be a better look for him. I mean, look what they're doing with Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked not great, but you can't be like, oh no, that was a bad game, because it was all right for a rookie quarterback, dude. I think he's going to be sick, but I think he's going to be sick because of where he went.
Yep.
To New England. They know how to coach. They know how to bring a player from the ground up, bro. I mean, Tom Brady was such a late pick, and nobody else would have handled Tom Brady right either. If he'd have went to another team, it would have been a complete bust there as well. But Belichick knows how to coach, so I don't know. But we'll see what the Patriots can even do. I don't even want to talk on those guys, man. I'm not a Patriots fan.
Jeremy, anything to say on what we said? You want to jump in here? Anything to say on what we done said?
No.
Okay, of course. All right, let's go.
You should know me by now. Like,
I know, but I'm okay. So, how much time? I got in a huge debate today, and how much time is too much time left on a clock? What do you guys think? And when I'm saying this, I'm talking in reference to Thursday night game, Monday night game. You had 120 left with Tom Brady, 2 timeouts left. Everybody, probably all of you guys sitting here, knew exactly what I knew. Tom Brady was driving down the field and getting a field goal. We saw it with the Green Bay Packers and Tom Brady last year. 1 minute, whatever, to get one. Like, how much time is too much? 35 seconds for Derek Carr. What do you guys think in today's day and age? Because there used to be, especially with mine, Brian's, Jeremy's age, because we're a little older than AC, but there used to literally be a time where you knew 55, 40 seconds, you were basically good. Like, if they had no timeouts in 40 seconds in the 90s, that was game over. Unless it was a Hail Mary. Like, that was – teams are not set up the way they are now. So what do you think do you think teams should stop playing for the field goal when they're in the lead? Like the Ravens should have probably went for a touchdown instead of trying to play for a field goal. The Cowboys definitely should have went for a touchdown.
The Ravens gotten that touchdown instead of that field goal, they'd have won that game.
So what do you think? Do you think instead teams should stop trying to go, 35 seconds left, our defense is going to hold them and play for the touchdown? Or do you think there's like a time frame where you'd be safe with?
I think it's a tough question to ask because right now in the status of the NFL, there's a lot of things that can happen. Roughing the passers, pass interference calls that are rampant, unnecessary roughness calls that are rampant.
Daunting.
Honestly, you could literally go as far as saying that 30 seconds is too far, especially when you factor in that these teams. You can't go back to the 80s and even 90s and say that teams practice 2-minute drills. That is a regular occurrence in the NFL right now. These teams practice 2-minute drills every day. So with penalties, timeouts, coaches' challenges in the last 2 minutes of a half, everything that factors in right now, 30 seconds can become an eternity.
Right. Not only that, but you got players like Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Henry Ruggs, like true speedsters who can beat anybody on the field, especially if they have to turn their hips and keep up with them. Like, not happening. You have players like that. In the 90s and the 80s, there were scattered, maybe a few players, one player on one team that was like that. But now it's littered throughout the NFL. Not only that, but like we're watching the game change before our eyes. Like Marcus Mariota coming in and getting 30 yards on one rushing play and then 31. Taking him out. Who else played? Brissett. He came in with the Dolphins and got 2 fourth down conversions. Like, who's going for it on the fourth? Like, it's literally changing right in front of our eyes, and it has been for a few years now. But now it's really like rampant, and all the teams are trying it. Everybody's going for 2-point conversions. What game was it where they were? Oh, was it the Falcons game? Yeah, it was the Falcons game. We had 6. They had scored a touchdown, and then they went for 2 and got it. It was 15-6 at that point. Like, who's doing that in 2004? No one's doing that in 2004, dude. You're gonna take 14-6 and you're gonna run with it, and the game's gonna finish up 21-17. Like, it's a more exciting game. There's quicker, faster players. There's quarterbacks that are just built from a child to have a gunslinging arm. So yeah, it's good to see it change right in front of my eyes. Like, I've never seen something like it before. And like you said, I'm 26, so I'm growing up on like football in 2003 and 4, and That's when I really started getting into it. So like just seeing the game change from then to what it is now, it's a completely different game for me. So, but it's fun. It's exciting. Everybody is scoring hella fantasy points, which that's why fantasy is so big now.
That's true. That's true. Jeremy, what about you? What do you say, boss?
Look, as a Raiders fan for the last 33 years, I think you give it back to any quarterback with any time left on the clock. It's too much time. I've looked at a bad defense for how many years now? And
True.
Anytime we give the ball back with between 2 seconds and a minute, I'm always having a heart attack, freaking out, because can you trust your defense to make that play?
Not if you're the Falcons.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any team in the NFL right now that you could 100% trust your defense to make that play.
There's definitely not that many reffing squads in the league that you can trust any lead with.
There's zero. There's absolutely no refs that you could trust.
Why don't they just give it to the fans at this point? Like, just put it up for a vote. Let us vote live.
That's true.
Fuck it. Like, bro, that's basically what's going on. There's two guys, like, there was one game they had a mic malfunction. He was like, so what do I call? Like, what should I just call it on 36? And he was like, oh shit, and like turned off his mic. Bro, like, just let the fans vote. Like, we can see it. We all got the same fucking video they do, bro. Let us see it. Let us vote on it. That's how much time it's taking anyways.
Like, you got a problem there, because then you got like Cowboys fans and Raiders fans that don't know what the fuck. So I mean, that might be an issue. At me at the comments. By the way, we love everybody that likes and subscribes to the thing. We're up to 160 subscribers. So just wanted to shout out you guys. Thank you very much. I agree with all of them. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. If I'm a coach, fuck a field goal. If y'all watch us long enough, I hate kickers. Thank you, AC, for giving me the strategy. I've only missed one field goal in Madden since you told me about that. Thank you very much. But I hate kickers. I don't like kicking field goals. And there was both times in the game that I was watching the game and had the same exact feeling. Why do you get in field goal range and stop? You've driven down the field. No matter where you're at, if you're at the 40, as far as with the Raiders when they had to drive 50 yards in 2 plays, if you start at the 25 and you drive to the 35, why is you get to the 35 on the other side and you're like, we're in field goal range, we're going to run the ball? We saw that with Dallas. Like, they ran it and then they threw a screen pass. Granted, the screen pass got a holding or whatever. But it's like, no, y'all got the momentum. Oh, I'm afraid if I turn the ball over. Who gives a damn? In this NFL, you can't play for a field goal. As a Chiefs fan, watching the Bucs game, I said last year at halftime the game was over. I'm like, you can't play for field goals. You can't go for field goals against Tom Brady. You can't do that. Like, watching teams play my whole time is like, this is not 1980. Get rid of the fucking field goal kicker. There is no field goal kicker. Unless it's like 4th and 15 from like the 25-yard line, you might as well fucking go for it. In a league where 30-yard passes happen on a regular basis, it don't matter who it is. It don't matter. We saw Kyler Murray on a Hail Mary pass catch to DeAndre Hopkins last year, and the whole internet lost their mind. They practice one-handed catches, the receivers do. They practice all of that stuff. The quarterbacks, all those passes Mahomes throws, I promise you he practices them. He doesn't just go out there and flick his wrist. No, he practices to be in these situations. That 75-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill, that was a practice play. He threw one play, 75. You can't leave 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. You got to kick a field goal as the time is expiring. And if you can't, you got to go for it. Now, if you get in like 4th and 3, you kick the field goal. But if you are running the clock down, I just think it's dumb. Unless you know you can get the clock down to 5 seconds, kick a field goal with 5 seconds left. As it's going through, all the time goes off. Any other time, you got to go for a score. And I just think there's too many coaches that don't do that. Kevin Stefanski for the Browns will definitely fucking do that. I watched that motherfucker go for 2. He went from 4th and 3 all the fucking time. He converted 3 4th downs against the Chiefs. 3. It was 4th and 1 in field goal range. Fuck you, give it to Chubb. 4th and 3 in field goal range. Fuck you, give it to Hunt. 4th and 3 on the 50. Fuck you, throw a quick screen. Throw a quick slant. Like, everybody knows a quick slant pass. It's very fucking easy. It's my favorite pass in Madden. Very easy. But in this day and age, you got to stop going for field goals. You got to score. You got to put points on the board. Because if you don't, exactly what's going to happen with Derek Carr, Tom Brady, fucking Jalen Hurts can do it. We saw Joe Burrow do it against the Bengals. Fuck, we saw Kirk Cousins do it. Kirk Cousins drove down the field and scored a game-tying field goal. So, y'all got to go for points. Go for touchdowns. Stop fucking playing for the field goal.
Humans are a creature of habit. I think it's like a tradition at this point. Like, people still are seeing like football as the old game that it was, but there's still coaches that were there, like playing in the 50s and 40s. Like, that tradition just isn't going to die like so easily. It is phasing out though, so I think soon we'll be in an NFL where there is no kicker until you like want that kicker at the end of the like game to get the 3 points and win, which that's an advantage, and like we need the kickers for that.
Yes.
But yeah, as far as like just like it's getting phased out though, and like this is our first year of seeing it, but from here on out, it's just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. We're gonna see more 4th down conversions, more 2-point conversions, and I mean I think that's why they set the rule up to move the kick back, however many years ago now.
Yeah.
When they moved the extra point back, but left the 2-point conversion up at the top. So.
I just don't get how you could be John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh. Watch the damn Dallas Cowboys do the same thing and think that you can get away with that. Like, I just don't get that. We saw it on Thursday night.
I think the players union is going to have to make a decision here, whether they want to continue to overly cautiously protect players or they want to eliminate 32 jobs from the league, because a lot of this comes down to pass interference calls, roughing the passer calls that are basically this is the reason why you're seeing the trend of going for it on 4th down become relevant, because the rules have changed so much that it doesn't take anything to get a pass interference. And why would you ever take the risk of missing a 50-yard field goal when you can take a shot at a 15-yard pass on 4th and 15 from the 43?
Yep.
And still get a 1st down without even completing a pass. So the players union is going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to decide, do you want to lose 32 jobs? Because that's what's going to happen if you eliminate the kicker. You're going to lose players' jobs. You're not going to have kickers on practice squad. You're not going to have kickers on the team. So people are losing their jobs. Their agents are going to lose money. There's a lot of things that factor into that, but it's definitely trending that way.
Listen, all you got to do is teach Pat. Look, first of all, I got a solution to all this shit, okay? I got a solution. You don't fuck the kickers. Fuck all the bitches, okay? I don't give a fuck about them, okay? Fuck Butker, fuck all of them. I'm not saying that they'll find other jobs. Let's not act like they're losing money. Okay, they're kicking a fucking ball. Okay, that's okay. Make the punter your field goal kicker. Anybody watches any Pat McAfee podcast, he'll tell you he kicked field goals. He had no clue how to hold a field goal. Adam Vinatieri called him and sent him to field goal holder. The punters are cooler anyway. You only need them to kick off the fucking ball. You just teach a punter how to kick a field goal.
Well,
and free up that spot for somebody else.
It's AC, right? AC, yeah. So to AC's point, though, if you completely eliminate the kickoff altogether and you just say, "Hey, you're starting off at the 25,"
no,
then there's not even that. That's gone. That's been discussed. So
no. I've seen the Dork video and it's actually called Dorktown by Secret Base, where they actually said the kickoff is one of the most entertaining sports, and they went through and tracked all of them, and it rarely ever happens. But this is the issue. You have to keep a kickoff for one simple reason, in my opinion. What happens with the Miracle Mile, with the Music City Miracle, where they threw the ball from one side to the other side and ran it in? Like, let's not act like they don't practice great kickoff. We've seen tons of that. If you have 2 seconds left and you have a speedster, Devin Hester, Dante Hall. You can literally turn that shit into that. Oh no, you got to keep the kickoff. Fuck that. Y'all can't take the kickoff away. Just teach punters.
You I know you're going to remember this though, Eric, because your hashtag is he hate me.
Of course.
The XFL was this. I mean, we're going back to the 90s here, and the XFL was already trying to eliminate the kickoff by doing their little bum rush at the 50 to see who could get the ball. I mean, this is not something new. It's something that's been considered for a long time.
I know, because it's the most unsafest play. I understand. I was a kick returner in high school. I get it. Trust me. I was scared shitless. There are very few things that go right on the kickoff. The only thing that can go right is you score. That's it. Everything else is like you just pray that you don't get hit. I get it, but it's just when it happens, it is so amazing. There are so few plays in the NFL like a kickoff return. Not even like a punt return. Like you see a punt return get kicked off and you love it, but most of the time you can kind of see what happens. It's not the same excitement as a kickoff return. It's like a home run in baseball. It's like a fast break with the Showtime dunk in basketball. Like it is that one thing that literally can change the momentum of a game that nobody expects it to happen. And if you get rid of the kickoff, well, we're talking about getting rid of 32 fucking jobs. But you just got rid of 30 jobs. Because a lot of these players that are on kickoff, like Shannon Sharp, which was a 5th or 6th round draft pick, made his mark on kickoff before he even played tight end. That's how they knew Tebow was not going to play, was going to get cut because he wasn't on kickoff or special teams. So if you get rid of those, like we're eliminating literally 30, probably in one game, 22 players.
Yeah, special teams would be obliterated.
Yeah. Like look, we're taking it a little too far. Fuck kickers. Fuck field goals. Fuck 3 points. Teach punters how to do that shit. I'm okay with getting rid of the kickers. Besides, there's not many good kickers anybody can name anyway besides Adam Vinatieri.
Or you could just teach the kickers how to punt.
No, because you know what? I don't know. Pat McAfee's a really cool punter, so I don't know. I don't know. That's just my thought. I think punters are a little cooler than kickers. That's just me.
Bro, Tampa Bay's punter is fucking amazing.
See? I just think they're a little cooler. That's just me.
Bro, he was going.
And they couldn't find a kicker for like 6 years.
But what about Janikowski?
Okay, look, nobody's talking about fucking Seabass. Stop it. Nobody's talking about him, okay? We ain't talking about the dude that could kick from fucking the other side of the field.
But you named one kicker. You named one kicker that wasn't Janikowski.
That's an android, okay? Let's just talk about him. He wasn't human. Fucking kicking 75-yard field goals in practice. Stop it.
Ball hung over.
I know that. I've heard those stories. Fucker just launching shit. No, he wasn't. When you take what he was taking in the first round, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, come on. When you take a kicker in the first round, you know they're on steroids. You also know you're a piece of shit franchise. That's the last time y'all won the Super Bowl, too. Right before y'all
you remember when the Falcons won a Super Bowl?
No, I don't. Ever.
Yeah, me either, bro. They had one at halftime.
Was that Morton Anderson?
I don't remember what they were.
Was that Morton Anderson?
Wait.
They beat the Vikings in '98. Right? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the Super Bowl. That was the NFC Championship.
No, that was NFC. Yeah, they went and lost to the Broncos.
They lost to Elway.
Yeah, they lost to Elway that year.
Dirty Bird. Remember the Dirty Bird with Jamal Anderson and Tim Dwight? Yeah, you remember that? The Dirty Bird. They got their ass. I think they lost to Elway. Yeah, it was Elway. No, they lost to Young, didn't they?
They lost bad either way.
Yeah, they had the ass.
I was 3, bro.
That's because Dan Reeves was their coach. And Dan Reeves is not a very good coach.
Yeah, my son was actually born. I was watching that Super Bowl from the hospital. I watched the whole thing. That was an ugly Super Bowl for the Falcons against the Broncos.
No, you know it was an ugly.
Had 2 of them, bro.
The uglier Super Bowl was the Buccaneers versus the Raiders. I'm just letting y'all know that was because that was on my 21st birthday. And I remember the first half, I was trying to watch the Super Bowl because it was good and nobody wanted to watch the Super Bowl. Then the second half, everybody wanted to watch the Super Bowl. I'm like, this fucking game's over. Why y'all? They're like, shut up, the Super Bowl's on. This fucking game's over. It's like fucking 800-0. Shut the fuck up. You remember that game, Jeremy?
Right. You always blow shit out of proportion.
Hey, I can't talk that much shit because the Buccaneers beat the fuck out of us too. So I mean, what can I really say? What can I really say? I mean, the Buccaneers just whooped AFC West ass. That's all I'm saying right now.
And the only reason the Buccaneers beat us was because they had the head coach that made our fucking playbook.
That you guys
never fucking changed after we traded it.
Wait, that 15 years later, you guys went crawling back to him and paid him $100 million to fuck up your team again. Got it.
That was Al Davis who traded him. It was Mark Davis who brought him back.
I'm just saying. Y'all love him. Y'all love him. Okay, what do we got? Let me see. I got to see. Okay. Did anybody see Stephen A. Smith's top 5 list?
Bro.
Did y'all see that?
That was garbage, man.
Now, he said it was only week 1. What does anybody think? Does anybody, I'm going to put it up there. We're just going to keep it up there because it's right in front of all of us. We can still see it.
Yeah,
What
week one, yeah, I guess. That works for me for week 1.
Yeah, if we're saying week 1, I guess, but like we've been saying this whole show that week 1 doesn't really matter.
Yet. I mean, it's extended preseason.
Again, I'm going to go back to what I've seen.
Week 1 was really the 4th preseason game.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. That's a fact.
That's a fact. I'm going to hide that. I don't like the way it looks. Okay. But no, it can't be week 1 because the Buccaneers beat the fucking Cowboys.
Yeah.
They beat the Cowboys by a field goal. That you cannot in any way, shape, or form go up and say in that scenario that the Buccaneers are the best team in week 1 after beating the Cowboys with a fucking broken ankle from Dak. Zeke not fucking running. Their defense giving up 400 fucking yards to Dak Prescott.
Let me ask you a question. The Rams were a great team last year with Jared Goff as the quarterback, and I have high respect for Stafford. That he's got a lot of weapons there, even though they're down with the stud running back with Cam Akers. They're still going to be solid just off their defense alone, and their offense looked pretty solid. So I don't know how you can put the Cardinals in the top 5 when, again, I don't even feel like the Cardinals are going to win that division. You can't be in the top 5 if you're not going to win your division. And I don't feel like the Cardinals are going to beat the Rams. So,
okay, I see that. But in defense, the Rams did play the Bears when Andy Dalton and Matt Nagy tried to get.
This isn't a fluke with the Rams, though. The Rams were really good last year too. So I don't feel like it's a fluke. This isn't. They're not rebuilt. They're reloaded with a new quarterback that's better than Jared Goff. They still have Robert Woods. They still have Cooper Kupp. They still have a good running back squad, and they still have Aaron Donald, who is the best defensive player in the league. So, and then, we're not even talking about Jalen Ramsey and a lot of these guys that the Rams have. The Rams are really stacked. And then, I could go into the conspiracy theories of how the Rams have a new stadium that cost them $7 billion in Inglewood. So, there's that too. They need the Rams to do well, and they don't need the Cardinals to do well. So I
get that. I can tell you my opinion on that would be that I think the Cardinals are actually better than the Rams. I don't think Matt Stafford is as good as everybody thinks Matt Stafford is. The conspiracy theory that Matt Stafford has not had any weapons is one of the biggest conspiracies.
That's bogus. In the world. It's bogus.
Calvin Johnson, Kenny Golladay, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones. Those are 4 all-pro receivers.
Calvin Johnson was one of the greatest ever.
No. Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson, Cross. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. The fact that that is a conspiracy theory to the max. Yes, the Detroit Lions suck, and the organization is fucking horrible. But the idea that this dude has never had any weapons is very, Very suspect. Also, all 4 of those wide receivers are better than any 4 of the wide receivers you can name on the Rams. All 4 of them. All 4 of them. Cooper Kupp is good. Robert Woods is good. But they're not Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate in his prime, Kenny Golladay, which Kenny Galladay's injuries. I get you, Golden Tate's injuries. Marvin Jones, to me, is still better than both of them as a slot receiver.
Hey, wait, don't they have Deshaun Jackson?
Calvin Johnson!
Don't they have Deshaun Jackson?
Greatest receiver ever.
I don't even know if Deshaun Jackson touched the field. And yes,
bro,
they do have Deshaun Jackson. I don't even know if he touched the field.
They got Tutu Atwell, bro. Are you kidding me?
Who?
The Rams.
I don't give a fuck. He had Calvin Johnson.
No, Tutu Atwell is way better than Calvin Johnson. Are you kidding me, bro?
He had Calvin Johnson in Calvin Johnson's prime, and he went to 1 playoff game. The fact that now their defense, yes, their defense could be extremely suspect.
Their defense was trash.
I'm not disagreeing, but this notion that he's never had weapons is false. Is completely false. Now, he is still an under 500 quarterback for his whole career. I'm not asking him to be great. I'm asking him to be he's under 500 his whole career. So I'm not saying that I trust Kyler Murray way more than I trust Matt Stafford. Way more. Matt Stafford is a stat sheet stuffer to me. They beat the Bears with Matt Nagy trying to get fired. The Cardinals beat the shit out of a supposedly Super Bowl contender with the top 4 team with Julio Jones, because everybody thinks that if they got Julio Jones, they're amazing. The best running back in the league, and held him to 37 or 50 yards with 9 yards in the first half. And Chandler Jones got 5 sacks or 3 sacks, whatever the fuck he had. That is way more impressive to me than the Rams beating Matt Nagy and the Bears. Matt Stafford has to look good. He has to. Let's see what happens in 12 weeks. When they maybe 6
Let's see what happens in week 2.
Who they play week 2?
I mean, you know, there's a lot of people really high on the Niners right now, and there's a lot.
I'm
Niners have a lot of hype. So I'm going to go with, again, you know, like I said, I want to see the Eagles come out. I want to see Jalen Hurts do this against the Niners. I want to see Devontae Smith come out and play like he played in week 1. And I want to see all this happen against the Niners. And if the Niners can't shut down the Eagles in week 2, then the Niners are pretenders. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I actually think the Niners are a really good team. But I think the Rams are the cream of the crop out of the NFC West. And I don't see anything outside of that changes my opinion.
I have a question for you. How many games has Jimmy G lost as a starter during the regular season for the Niners?
Not
when
many.
he's healthy. Let's just be honest.
I don't know. I'm not putting the Rams over the Seahawks anytime.
So Jimmy
And
G,
see, and that's the other thing too. The
Jimmy
NFC West
G
is so
has
stacked.
lost 8 games. 8 games in the regular season with the Niners. The last time they were healthy, they were in the Super Bowl. But yet,
what Jeremy just said almost makes Stephen A. Smith's Cardinals top 5 even more blasphemous, because the facts that you're putting them over the Rams, you're putting them over the Seahawks.
Look, the Seahawks are who the Seahawks are. They do this every year. They start off 5-0, and then they end up 10-5 or whatever. That's why Russell Wilson has no MVP votes.
When did they ever play 15 games?
Shut up. Stop talking shit.
Hey, the Cardinals. Hey,
So, back to the Niners. Jimmy G has lost 8 games as a 49ers quarterback.
Well, we don't want to hear your bullshit take on the Chargers.
What?
So when you say you don't think the Niners, I get your point, but like that's my opinion with the Rams. You have a team in Jimmy G with the Niners that literally, when he's healthy, they win. They win. That's all they do with him is win. They were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then everybody got injured. You got a team that is ascending in the Cardinals that you're starting to see them going from being shitty to being halfway decent to dominating teams that were playoff teams and people thought were a top 4 team. And then you have the Rams who beat Matt Nagy and the fucking Bears, and everybody's jumping up and down because Matt Nagy's trying to get fired. That's just like Matt Stafford looked good against the Bears. By the way, Jared Goff did the same thing that Matt fucking Stafford did on Sunday. That's the same game that Matt Stafford would have had in the Lions. He'd have been down by fucking 30 points and then thrown up a lot of balls, and then he wouldn't have won the game.
Very true.
The suspense is killing me. I got to hear this bullshit take on the Chargers.
AC, no, I'm sorry, AC, jump in.
Bro, what's wrong with the Chargers, man? They're gonna be good. They already started off very decent.
He has them 14-3. He has them 14-3.
So look, I want to jump in and piggyback off of AC here because I literally on my notepad, and I could show this, under the biggest surprise segment, I put the Chargers as one of my biggest surprises of this week because they won a game that last year they would have lost on the road against one of the best defenses in the NFL. They would have lost that game last year,
by 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, I was thoroughly impressed with the Chargers. I'm very high on Justin Herbert. I think when you don't have two of the best pass rushers in the league coming at you, he's going to have a lot of time. He's got some really good weapons with Keenan Allen's, Mike Williams, and I know Mike Williams gets beat up a lot, but I think Mike Williams is going to do a lot this year. Austin Eckler is one of the toughest guys in the league, and they were due for a coaching change. And I think that when I made the comment earlier that I don't think the Raiders are going to even finish in second place, that was leading into the fact that I think the Chargers are going to win the wild card out of that division.
They barely beat Washington with Heineke.
Thank you. Fucking stop.
Heineke's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league.
We keep saying the Redskins.
Heineke has played in 2 fucking NFL games ever.
He's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league.
Who was their quarterback last year?
No.
Who was their quarterback last year? Who was their quarterback last year?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, or last year it was 6 different fucking quarterbacks.
And thank you. And did they win the division?
Not with Heineke.
Dude, he's one of the better
Heineke's first start was
league.
against the Bucks in the playoffs.
Who was the? Thank
Alex
you.
Smith.
Alex Smith. I think he played 2 games.
No, he came back in like week 6. They had Dwayne and Kyle Allen and Dwayne Haskins. Heineke started.
You're thoroughly underestimating this Redskins defense. The whole reason, reason the Redskins won the division last year is because their defense is elite.
They won at 7-9. Stop. They won the shittiest division in the fucking world, and we're giving them fucking credit. Stop it. Tyler Heineke has only played in fucking 9 NFL quarters, and the Chargers barely beat him.
I'll definitely give it. But look,
not hard to have an elite defense
with a very
I will definitely give the Chargers more credit for beating the Redskins defense than I would ever give Derek Carr for beating the most damaged team in the NFL in the Ravens.
It's the fucking football team.
Oh, they had 3 running backs and a quarterback that was injured. How's it the most damaged team?
Their entire running back squad was gone.
Who, last year?
Their best running back was a guy they signed 2 days before.
Who?
Latavius Murray was there.
He didn't do nothing.
Okay.
33 yards and a touchdown is not nothing.
Wait, let me get this straight.
He scored a touchdown from what, the 3-yard line?
You're giving the Chargers more credit for
beating the Redskins defense. Yes. On the road, absolutely.
So let's see by week 5, because the Chargers play the Cowboys, then they play the Chiefs, and then they play the Raiders. So let's see by week 5 how the Chargers are looking. All right? That's not that far away.
We can revisit this conversation, absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing that the Chargers are not
revisit the fact that you think Washington has an elite defense.
The fact that you're giving them credit for beating a 7-9 playoff team that was the worst in the NFL. That division sucked. They started a quarterback that got injured in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Tyler Heineke has played 9 quarters. 9. And you're like, They won 2016. That's more impressive.
To be
Wait.
fair.
That's more impressive than coming back and scoring a field goal with 35 seconds left to go and winning in overtime against the former MVP and the playoff team.
Listen,
That went 13.
The Redskins are a playoff team. 1, 2. I'm not giving them credit based off of a week 1 victory. I was giving them credit before the week 1 victory.
I know
they just happened to win. They just happened to win too. So like, I don't have to not give them credit.
I'm gonna let you know. Ever since you said that, I've been praying for them to fucking lose. But I don't know why. But that might be why I'm so hyped up about it. Because now I feel like I'm defending my pride because he said they would be 14-3. Just to let you know, Brian.
Oh no, I don't.
He predicted the Chargers would be 14-3, would be second in the AFC, and would go to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't go that far.
No, they're not. They're not going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the AFC Championship for sure.
But that was his prediction. So like, that's why I'm so hyped because the whole time I'm like, come on, fucking Washington. Come on, Washington. God damn it. Fuck.
I definitely don't think a 10-6 or 11 or 11-6, 10-7 out of the Chargers is not out of the question, and enough to get them in the playoffs. I think very highly of their coaching changes they made. I think very highly of the team. I definitely think that they're primed to make a run this year.
Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen was the other starter for the Washington football team.
So they're good. The Washington football team is great.
No, they're not great.
Winners of week 1.
That just goes right along with ACs that Eagles aren't going to blow us out.
Hey, bro, look. I thought it would be a close game. It's always a good one between the Eagles and the Falcons. It's
obviously not always a good one.
Yeah, that was bad. I have nothing to say about that. Like, nothing good. I mean, whatever, all the bad. That was just you can't go out there and look like that with this offensive guru, a head coach, this new staff who's supposed to put it in you, Kyle Pitts, extending Matt Ryan, and fucking passing up on a franchise quarterback. 5 franchise quarterbacks. Granted, there was only 2 left, and you're only going to take Justin Fields. Whatever. We should have took Justin Fields. If we're going to be rebuilding, we should have started rebuilding in the draft with Justin Fields.
If you're going to rebuild, do it for real, right?
Yeah, if you're going to rebuild, bro. If you knew it was a rebuild from the second you hopped in, that should have been in the coaching interview. That should have been in the general manager interview. Right. It should have been like, hey, we're rebuilding. We are not going to win. But they came in with a win now attitude. And, dude, they lost huge. I don't care. Not even as a Falcons fan. That was the worst loss of the week, bro. It's so bad, nobody even wants to talk about it, bro.
We're still
talking about the Packers.
I just want to hop in. I'm not with what we were saying with the Justin Fields thing, with what you're just saying. If Kyle Pitts is a once-in-a-generation tight end, I'm not disagreeing. I don't know. But if he is, you get him and you find a quarterback to go with him. Like, you can – if you're going to be bad, you can get him and still get a quarterback next year or the year after. But if Kyle Pitts is as good as what he's supposed to be, if they're not sold on Justin Fields, you get Kyle Pitts. Like, you've seen multiple – I mean, like, I'm from a person that has seen Kelsey the whole entire time, you get Kyle Pitts. Like, Kelsey is the only player that literally has produced, no matter who the fucking quarterback was before Mahomes got there, he's good. When you have that security blanket, you go get him and you wait on your quarterback maybe next year. Because in this league, you don't need a great quarterback to win. Nick Foles. I'm just saying, you don't. You can have a backup and win the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, I was just going to say, you said, I'm going to, as an Eagles fan, I'll throw it out there. You said Kelsey is the only one that's produced regardless of quarterback. I would definitely throw Zach Ertz in there.
I mean, I've seen him produce the quarterback. Greg Kittle has Darren Waller. Well, I don't know, but you've seen a lot of
Darren Waller because Darren Waller came to the Raiders off the Ravens practice.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if you have that security blanket, you can find a quarterback. You don't have to have a Mahomes or a fucking Brady or you have to have a good team and an above average quarterback. And there's been multiple times that, like, again, he fucking Nick Foles won, Carson Wentz, like those, like, even though he didn't win, but you don't have to have the greatest quarterback.
No,
You can get away with that. But if Pitts is who he's supposed to be, you fucking take him. Fuck that. You take him over Fields. You'll find another field.
Hey, Carson Wentz was elite at getting injured.
But you get what I'm saying, though. You'll find another Fields.
No, yeah, I feel what you're saying, but we have a 35-year-old quarterback. 1, 2. If this coaching staff doesn't pull it together like quickly, bro,
isn't it a new coaching staff?
Yeah, we got Arthur Smith.
Well, I don't know that you can use the age as an excuse anymore with Brady at 40. What's Brady 44?
Brady.
Yeah, that excuse is out the window now. I mean,
but we can't use that excuse anymore because Brady went from the Patriots to the Bucks and still performing at a high level.
Can we look at the league average though, and not at Tom Brady? That's a one-off. Like, that's not going to happen again anytime soon, bro.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers
38. Yeah, but like, dude,
Can we talk about the fact that Aaron Rodgers is 7 years younger than Tom Brady, and he looks like he's like 50?
That's because Tom Brady gets Botox.
I don't know what it is.
I promise you. I'm not. So I was literally.
I guess that's that Giselle money. I guess because
they showed the picture, and I looked at my girlfriend, and both her and her friend are cosmetologists. I'm like, that motherfucker gets shit. They're like, yeah, he gets shit. We already know he dyes his fucking hair. We already know that fuck. And it's a TV12 shit. He'll never, you can look at that shit. That's fucking hair club for men. You can see that shit. Like, unfortunately, my girlfriend, she's a cosmetologist, and I literally look at dumbass shit consistently. So, like, I immediately was like, that's hair club for men. They're like, yeah. Even Kristen, who's a Patriots fan, is like, he dyes his hair all the fucking time. You can tell. She's like, I can spot where he gets touched up at from his Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay. It's all that TB12. Yeah, that motherfucker gets Botox. He gets stretched. He gets something. I promise you. I promise you he does.
All I know is Tom Brady is literally 12 days older than me. And I'm sitting in a bar right now, and he can fucking dominate in the NFL. That amazes me.
What are you talking about? He's 12 days older than you, motherfucker. He's 5 years older than me. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, shit. Like, what happened?
I'm a pretty old guy. So
later, AC, later, buddy. What happened to old guys being old guys? Like, I just don't understand that. When we were younger, old people were old people. Like, 35 was the cutoff age, no matter what fucking sport you played. Whether it was it didn't matter what it was. People got up, 35. Yeah, they're about ready to retire. Now motherfuckers boxing till they 49. Brady wants to play till he's 50. Fucking Drew Brees should have probably played forever. I mean, like, I can really imagine, like, these players nowadays, like Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, motherfuckers, one of them is going to play till they 55. That's just the way I look at it. Like, I saw Vinny Testaverde play at 41. Now we got 45 with Tom Brady. So in another 10 years, it's going to be 50. And then by the time Zach Wilson gets here, he'll be out here 55. Watch. Some dumbass shit like that.
Yep.
All right, Jeremy, you got anything else to say?
I don't think we're good.
You good? Brian, we appreciate you jumping on. Do you want to say?
I appreciate you guys having me. It was a blast. It was fun. So yeah, I hope in the future we'll visit some of these conversations and predictions. And
don't worry, we're gonna have you back on in about week 6 or 7 to talk about Washington.
Yeah, let's come back and talk about that. Well, I mean, I hope that we're talking about that the Eagles have buried the Redskins by then. I really do.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I definitely agree with that. Just let you know, we had a blast with you being on. You have an open invitation whenever you want. So we go live every Tuesdays. If you're down, just hit me up. I'll send you the topics. And whenever you want, let me know. You can say nah, pass, or whatever, and you're all good.
It was a pleasure, fellas.
All right, buddy. You be safe out there. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Jeremy. How'd you have fun?
Look, I love when you bring people on. I don't have to talk so much.
I got we get some motherfucking good guests. We were supposed to have a lot more on, and I'm gonna have to take Vison and let him know that we ain't gonna make it till 8. Because
we're at an hour and a half already.
Yeah, we ain't gonna make it till 8. I thought we would, but I'm gonna let him know because he was like, bet. So I'm gonna let him know shit just didn't pan out. We didn't get as many people as I thought, and I don't understand why, because all of them checked in. But we'll see. I know with JD's shout out to JD Oracle. He put his dog down a couple days ago. Kids are having a problem dealing with that, so that's why he didn't come on. He shout out his new podcast and everything. Y'all got to catch us on Colorcast app. Anything else you want to say?
No.
I got something to say. Fuck all Raiders fans, but Jeremy.
You can say fuck me too. I don't care.
No. I love Jeremy. Jeremy's amazing. I love Jeremy. By the way, I'm still whooping your ass in fantasy this week. Get ready for that shit.
Hey, you remember what happened last year?
Dude, I'm talking shit in the Twitter chat. You know it.
You remember what happened last year? Let them know what happened last year.
Why are you bringing up oh shit?
Let them know what happened last year.
Why are you bringing up oh shit?
What's your record against me?
Didn't you whoop my ass all the games?
Even if you win this one, you're still going to be under 500.
I'm still putting hands on you. By the way, make sure you follow us on LV Benchwarmer. That's where we get into all the shit. Check us out on the Colorcast app on Tuesday. And check out our video coming up with the picks and high school football. Might not have one this week, but we'll have one next week. I'm not sure if we're doing that one.
What happens? We got to do the week 2 picks, though.
We got to do the week 2 picks. So without further ado, Jeremy, take us out.
Put me in, coach.
All right, y'all. I'm going to do this now.